Welcome back to the CS Podcast. I am your host, Chris Shanafelt, and I am now joined by 2014 NFL Draft prospect, running back out of Coastal Carolina University, Lorenzo Taliaferro. Thanks for joining the show, Lorenzo. How's it going, man?
Thank you. It's going good. How about yourself?
Hey, I'm doing great, and I gotta say it's a pleasure having you on the show. And we're gonna be talking about your football career, and I just want to start off by throwing out the fact that coming out of high school, you actually took the JUCO route, and you attended Lackawanna Junior College for 2 years. You were playing running back, and you made a name for yourself on special teams as well. After having some success at Lackawanna, can you just tell us how this opportunity to play football and attend Coastal Carolina, how this opportunity came up?
I was actually waiting for some bigger schools. I had bigger interests out of high school. I just didn't have the grades. So I was waiting for some schools. Some schools kept calling, Division I A schools, but no one was coming through with any offers. And by that time, I had took a visit to Coastal, and I took a visit to Texas Southern, and Coastal coaches, they were just really interested. They were always calling, making sure that they had my attention, and they made me feel welcome. And I just got tired of it. I just got tired of waiting on these D1A schools. I'm like, okay, I mean, it doesn't seem like they're too interested. And even if they was to come through with a late offer, it doesn't sound like they want me that much. So I didn't want to go down anywhere and get lost in the system and just become nothing, you know. So I ended up coming to Coastal and sat behind Jeremy Hyde my first year. Played a good amount, but took advantage of spring ball going into my senior season, and just hard work from there.
Like I said, you started 3 of the 12 total games that you played, and you ran for over 350 yards and 5 touchdowns. Any chance you can tell us about that very first touchdown that you ran in as a member of the Chanticleers?
It felt good because it was a crazy game for us. It was actually my first game because I missed the first game, so it was the second game of the season. We're about to go into overtime. I think we won in double overtime. It was a crazy game, so it definitely felt really good, especially after the game. My phone was just blowing up from previous college teammates and coaches and all, and they were watching it on the computer and like a live broadcast, so it definitely felt great.
After having that promising first year at CCU, what were your personal expectations for this past season, knowing that it'll be your final year to prove to everybody that you can indeed play at the next level?
Just going off the field stuff was really important. I made sure I did everything, like stretching, eating right, got my weight down a little bit, but I didn't personally set any rushing goals or anything. I just wanted to go out there and be the best I can be, you know, just dominate the position, because I feel when you start to set personal goals, as in I want to rush for 15,000 yards or 18,000 yards, 1,800 yards, I think you get sidetracked. That's all you shoot for, and then you don't become a complete running back, you know. If you're just worried about those yards, and when the ball's thrown to you, you might miss it, or you might not perfect blocking. You might, you know, everything that ties into complete running back. So I just try to make sure that I did that this year, and all the rest will take care of itself, as long as you can just become a complete player.
Well, you said you wanted to dominate the position, and Lorenzo, you're one of the best running backs in the nation, and you certainly proved that this past season as you ran for over 1,700 yards, 27 touchdowns. You also proved that you can make plays out of the backfield by catching the football, as you had 23 receptions for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's like a video game. You had a video game-like season. You don't see this every year, and you also helped lead your team to a 12-3 final record as you guys ended the season with a loss to the FCS National Champs, the North Dakota State Bison. I know the season didn't end the way you guys wanted it to, but how would you describe the success you and your teammates had this past season?
It was amazing. You could tell it was something special about this team. I wasn't here with the old coaches, but when I came in with the new coaches we got, and the first year we broke some records as a team and stuff, and then the preparation this summer that everyone was dedicated, because we had much more seniors this year. Just the preparation this summer, we were all meeting, calling our own meetings after we stuff with our coach, with our strength coach. We would do our own stuff. We'd go down to the beach. It just, we knew something special could happen. We seen the talent, and we just, day in and day out, we just took, we were just getting disrespected. I mean, everyone was picking us to lose, such and such. So, we just felt like we had to open some eyes. I mean, no one counted us to win when we went down to Montana. No one counted us to beat Liberty. And, we just hang in there, keep your composure, play football. It's just a game. We've been playing all our life, so it's fun when you can elevate it and just play to your potential and then perfect stuff. Because the numbers that our offense put up this year was just amazing, we owe it all to our offensive line. Offensive line did a wonderful job, especially the size that we have on our offensive line.
Now, you guys had a great running game. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, you were the star of that. But how does a good passing game with a great wide receiver in Matt Hazel help you as a running back?
We help both each other a lot because they can't load the box and leave him on the island, leave that corner on the island, and then if they don't load the box, then we can hand it off. And Matt does a wonderful job, and our slot receiver do a good job also because we run a lot of options, triple option and stuff. So our offensive coordinator is just amazing. He's a smart guy, and then the stuff that we can just do to other teams with our triple option, and then Matt is a deep threat. It just keeps everyone on their toes.
All right, Lorenzo.
It's hard to coach against stuff like that.
All right, Lorenzo. My next question includes your time both at Lackawanna and CCU. How would you describe your overall college experience?
It's good. Lackawanna was a tough place to play at, but it was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. I was never like a trouble kid or anything, but I was like a clown in high school, So and I used to think that I had stuff wrong. I used to think that I had it bad in life sometimes, and then I went there and I experienced stuff from other kids that had it 10 more times than I could ever imagine. So, that just helped me grow up. I was far away from my mom. I don't know if you know too much about JUCO, but you don't have access to nothing, nowhere near what you have at a school like Coastal. So, you just had to take things upon yourself and just be a man, just grow up. So I think that helped me mature a lot because I think if I would have went to a Division I school right out of high school, then I probably would have just clowned around some more and then ended up wasting or doing something that I shouldn't have done and wasting some time there. So that was just a wonderful experience. It was probably the worst, but the best thing that could have happened to me. And I met some great people there. Ended up building some friendships with people that had it 10 times worse. Like I said, they grew up in crazy murder type places. And I ended up being an impact to them, trying to, I still stay in contact with them. Some of them relate to me as in, a best friend, and I only known them for 2 years, and it's just wonderful whenever you can just be in that position in someone's life. And then, come to Coastal's been great, a lot of people, some people can play when I got here. Some players you'll hear oh man, we don't have Nike, we don't have this, we don't have this. When I first got here, we have some muscle, athletic and stuff. And I'm just sitting here I think this is 10 times better than what we had in JUCO. Half the stuff we had to pay for, So, it's just a blessing, everything here. And then the coaching staff is wonderful. Coach Mosley, he's a great guy. He does more than just coach football. He coaches on life. He makes it that football is this big and life is this big, so we don't just get caught up on just being a football player. He's not trying to get us not to live in a bubble. There's a big world out there, and not everyone's going to make it to the next level. And even if you do, the span of it is 2 years. So I think So I think that was a great experience here, and I'm still here right now and taking it all in.
Yeah, that is absolutely great to hear. This is Chris Shanafelt talking with 2014 NFL draft prospect out of Coastal Carolina, running back Lorenzo Taliaferro. Now, Lorenzo, can you tell us about what it was like to spend some time in Mobile, Alabama with other NFL draft prospects from all types of different schools to participate in the Senior Bowl a few weeks ago?
Oh, it was awesome. Going into there, it was more of a business trip for me and some of the other small school guys. You know, half of those guys already got a foot in the door, so, you know, the big question is, we know they knew that we could put up the numbers, but the question was, could we do it against that competition, you know? So it was great spending time. A lot of people, a lot of my friends and stuff were saying, like, oh, those guys are probably going to be cocky. They got it all. They're probably getting paid already. And it actually wasn't like that, you know? It was a good experience, you know? So the guys are cool, opened up, you know? Only thing that sucked was I couldn't share some of the stories that they share with each other, talking about the Rose Bowl and national championship and stuff like that. But it was fun, you know? We got to talk to them, got some numbers, built some relationships with some, and didn't even have an invite to the combine until after that game. So I didn't think that I was going to see much of them again until whatever happens from there. And then I ended up getting the invite. So, and I've been talking to a couple of them. So good to see them again before the next process.
Now, you were on the South team, and you guys did defeat the North squad 20-10. You were able to turn some heads throughout the week of practice, and of course during the game. Like you said, it was after this game when you got that NFL Combine invite. Now, I know there were some NFL scouts in attendance at the Senior Bowl throughout the practices and the game itself. Were you able to talk to any of them, and if so, what are they saying about you?
Yeah, all 30 teams there. We got interviews daily. I probably talked to about 15 to 20 teams. It was just simple stuff, just simple questioning. I mean, some personal stuff. They asked keep most of the stuff private, but it was nothing. You know, they were just scouts. They were just doing their job, just asking, giving basic info, and I'm drawing up plays for them, stuff like that. But I know they were all. After our interviews, they ended it, well, okay, see you at the combine, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't get invited, so next thing is my pro day, and they all were shocked. They all were shocked, like, oh, how do you have these numbers, how do you do this, and you didn't get invited to the combine, and, you know, I mean, I don't know, it's not up to me, but, yeah, so that was pretty much, that pretty much touched me a lot, that they actually felt that I should have been invited, and they all said, well, okay, wait till the second wave, and then it ended up coming true.
That's great. Now, Lorenzo, just a few more questions, then I'll let you go. I really do appreciate your time, man, and I'll start back up with, when did you find out that the NFL may not only be a dream, but it could become a reality?
I would say going into Hazel had scouts here all throughout our camp. There was scouts here, but you know, I didn't really have a name out there. So you seen them at they were always over at the receivers in individual tiers and stuff. But I would say after the second or third game, I can't really remember which game it was. It was the third game actually. After the Eastern Kentucky game, I remember being in the individual period with the running backs, and I ended up catching a ball, and I turned around to get some water, and it was about three or four scouts. I can't remember each team, and they were all just sitting there, just looking at me and taking notes, and then from there, it just felt amazing, you know, that they could actually come there and they were just watching. So then from there, I just dedicated, you know, just made sure my intensity just stayed on the rise, just stayed level-headed, just know, you know, it's just what you've been doing, you know, play football.
If you would compare yourself to a running back currently playing in the NFL, who do you think that would be and why?
Marshawn Lynch or Eddie Lacy. Either one of those two.
I love a physical running back, man, and I gotta think that's why, because those guys are not only fast, but they could run some people over. Is that why?
Yeah, that's exactly why. Eddie Lacy, that's who a couple people has like compared me, like NFL comparison, and because they're talking about around face speed or whatever. But yeah, a lot of people say that the physicality of the game has actually like died. No one gets those big backs anymore and stuff. But you know, they're keeping it alive, and it's not that we're just big backs. I mean, we can do more than that, but you know, sooner or later, I mean, that fancy stuff has to die down. You got to get those tough yards, and that's, you know, that's what I'm all about. You know, running in between the tackles and getting north and south as fast as possible.
All right, let's say there's an NFL general manager out there listening to this very interview. Why should he want Lorenzo Taliaferro, running back out of Coastal Carolina, on his team?
I would say because I'm a complete football player. You know, I love the game. Been playing it for years. I have no problem in doing whatever it takes to help my team win, to help get on the field, whether it's the special teams, whether it's blocking, whether it's fullback or whatever. And I also can pass block. You know, I'm no stranger to pass block. I played fullback my first year at Lackawanna. And also, I have no off-the-field issues. I'm not a troublemaker. I'm not into too much big entertainment. You know, I just want to play football, and all that other stuff can take care of long after I'm done when I walk away from the game.
Now,
that's pretty much it.
Lorenzo, you mentioned that you got that NFL Combine invite. How excited are you for not only the NFL Combine, but your Pro Day, which is later on after the NFL Combine, and then, of course, the NFL Draft? I got to think all this is like a dream come true.
It's definitely a dream come true. I'm just trying to stay level-headed, you know. I'm just trying to do all the right things and just prepare myself. You know, I got short notices for the Senior Bowl, and so I didn't have much time to train. And then right after the Senior Bowl, I'm about to start working. I'm ready to start working for Pro Day, you know. I'm like, okay, I got two and a half months till Pro Day. And then I'm on the airplane. Right before I get on the airplane, my agent calls me and says, you got invited to the Combine. So I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now only those 2 months turn into 2.5 weeks to train for the Combine. So just got to go out there and then just do what I gotta do. I mean, at first I was sitting here thinking, talking to someone, and I was like, oh man, because my coaches were telling me that I'm staying in school to finish my credit. I only had 6 credits to graduate, so if I was staying in school, they were telling me go home for the 3 weeks for the winter break and just rest. You took a good beating this year, just rest. So when you get back here, we'll start training for Pro Day. So, you know, I got back here, and like I said, I got the invite the first week of school, and the next week I have to show up to Mobile, and then coming back at Combine. So I only had like a month in total to actually train. And at first I was down on myself, like, oh man, these big time players been at these big time facilities. I mean, I got a trainer, a local guy who's with ESA Sports down here, working me out, but I'm sitting here, I'm stressing, like, oh, they're going there, and then they're going there, and then I got some good advice from someone. He told me, you know, don't worry about that. You were training for the Combine all your life, and then I took that in. At first, I'm just like, what do you mean? And then I took that in and realized, like, that's exactly what I've been doing. You know, I've been watching the Combine on NFL Network since I was in middle school, and even when I wasn't preparing for running back drills and stuff, I was doing the stuff that was at the Combine. This is what you want to do, so that's what you've been doing, just like football. You know, you've been playing football all your life, so you get to the next level, you can only get better. So I'm just ready to get down there and see what I can do.
Lorenzo, I gotta say, I didn't expect to take this much of your time, but I gotta say that this 20-minute interview really has been a true pleasure. I'm wishing you nothing but the best of luck, man. Congrats on a great football career at Coastal Carolina. Before I let you go, is there anything you'd like to say to myself and our listeners?
No, but thank you. I'm really honored to be on your show.
Hey, thank you, Lorenzo. Best of luck in the future with the NFL Combine, your pro day, and, of course, the NFL Draft. Take care, man.